Hey, beautiful souls, it's Rachel here from A Bridge to Tranquility. So, over the past few weeks, over on Instagram at A Bridge to Tranquility, I've been putting up a little screenshot kind of thing, like a story profile, that is an Ask a Witch series. So, this is basically based on me. Let me just change this angle a little bit. This is an open forum to ask me, a practicing witch, psychic, spiritual person, whatever you want to call me. I myself personally identify as a witch. I'm not in any sense religious, so I'm not pagan nor Wicca. I am what you call, I can never say the word properly, eclectic, solitary witch, which means I'm not part of a coven. I like to practice on my own. And eclectic means I like to take pieces out of lots of different things. I am what you call generationally or ancestrally gifted. So it is known that my gifts pass down through generations of my family, and I'm just one of them that got them. So I wanted to kind of open this up so that people could ask any kind of question that they wanted. It could be personal, it could be spiritual, it could be what's my favourite colour. Um, so what I did was I opened up the question box 3 times on Instagram, and each time I screenshotted the answers. Not the answers, the questions, sorry. So I'm literally just going to work through a few of these. I think altogether there's about 14 questions, 15 questions. So I'm going to work through it. I'm just having a little glimpse now. I'm going to have a look through all of them and just literally answer them here now. I'm not going to do them in any specific order. I'm actually going to do them in the order that they came. So I'm going to start with slide number 1. So yeah, guys, get a drink, get comfy, and let's talk about asking a witch. I'm going to be raw, I'm going to be real, and we're going to see what you guys asked. And this is something, depending on the response, that I'd like to do on a regular basis, whether it's kind of like every 3 months, whether it's every month, just opening the platform up for us to have a chat. So, the first question: through everything you have been through, how do you keep going and remain positive? So I believe that I had a pinnacle point, and I think this is very key. I had a pinnacle point where I felt like things changed for me, in the sense that I wasn't always somebody that would remain positive. I wasn't always somebody that remained happy, even when I was fully coming into my gifts and using my skills to help others, etc. I was still in a place where I would be quite negative at times. Um, Honestly, and this sounds really, really rough, but this is just how it is. The greater, deeper understanding that good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people. So, regardless of what I do to a certain degree, things can just still happen, whether it's karmically written, whether it's something to spur me on my journey, whether it's supposed to awaken some healing, whether it's supposed to, be whatever it is. And I'm talking bad stuff. I'm not talking like, oh, I had a little breakup. Like, I'm talking trauma stuff. And there was a pinnacle point at the end of 2019 where I genuinely, for just probably around about, I want to say about 3 to 4 days, was literally like, I can't win. I can't win. I've been doing the business, I've been doing everything, and still I'm here in a brand new situation. Universe is still gunning for me. Like, I was proper, very much like that. And I realised that it was either I was going to stay down or I was going to get up. And I genuinely, I'm not always positive. I think I have a brighter outlook now than I've ever had. But I genuinely just sit in the comfort of the fact of that this is just a cycle and things are just happening. Good, bad, ugly, beautiful. They are just happening, and they can happen to anyone at any moment because of the way that it works, and I can manifest and I can reap loads of amazing things. But there's always going to be the power of duality and polarity, which is there's always going to be an opposite end of the spectrum. So I think if I can ride the lows, then I can most definitely ride the highs. Next question: what is your favourite incense? Okay, I've got 2. There's one called oud. I absolutely love the smell of that. And my original bad boy, which I've always loved, anything with dragon's blood in it. Dragon's blood is such a beautiful incense smell, so those are my favourite. What is your biggest fear? Okay, so if you would have asked me this a few years ago, I would have said falling flat on my face or, you know, failing at certain things, the business not being great, da 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 da. But now, if I'm being genuinely honest, my biggest fear in life is losing any part of my family. And I don't mean that as in obviously like death, transformation, rebirth, transcendence. We can't stop things like that. But I mean the unit that I have now and the way that we've all kind of worked on our truthful communication and our open communication, to lose any of that would genuinely be my biggest fear, because my family is my foundation. They're my rocks. So yeah, that's definitely my biggest fear. Um, the next question, oh, what did I do there? Next question is how to build confidence in your psychic abilities, spiritual abilities, and gifts. Um, practice. And practice with people you don't necessarily know but do feel comfortable to practice with, but nobody that owes you anything. And one of the most rewarding things I ever did, and one of the best practices I ever did, was reading for my brother, because my brother was never gifted the gift, if you want to give it that. He never had sight, he never had the empathy, he never was very intuitive. So for a long period of time of us growing up, he was kind of just like, yeah, I don't know about that. Like, I get it, and I'm not saying you're lying, but nah, do you know what I mean? Which he wasn't wrong for, obviously not. But before I officially launched the business, everything was ready. I'd been working on my website. I'd been doing those things. I'd read for a few people. I'd read for a few people consecutively. I'd done some house cleanses. I was really in the place of really being comfortable with my gift. I read for my brother, because my big brother, number one, was never going to have me out here looking stupid. And number two, he was going to tell me the truth. He was going to tell me the truth, and he didn't care. So find somebody that loves you enough to tell you the truth, and they're doing it from a place of love, not from a place of harshness. So if my brother would have turned around and been like, I don't know what the hell he was talking about, he would have had no idea what he was fundamenting. But what he does, well, he knows this now, but what he didn't know at the time is his reading was the make or break of the business. Because if he would have told me, nah, I don't know I don't get this, or I feel like, you know, these are just typical things that I could allocate to my life, the typical things that people say about readings or whatever, I would have left it there. But categorically, at this point in time when I started this part of the business, me and my brother were close, but we weren't close, so I didn't know anything about his personal life. And he literally was like, he gave me two answers at the end. He literally said, there's no way you can know those things. And I said, so should I do this as something public? And he said, yes, you should definitely do this. And that was the end. So I think that was just keep on building, keep on practice, but practice with people who are loving and are honest, and they're not gonna like sugarcoat things, even if it's like, okay, you can do that really good, but you can't do that really good, or you did that really well, but when you did that, I wasn't with it. Knowing that it's a place from love, not being offended. So slide number 2. What's your favourite song for when you're feeling pissy? I'm taking pissy as being angry. My favourite song for when I'm angry. This is an interesting one, actually. What's my songs when I'm annoyed? To be honest, there's two things that I do when I'm annoyed. I will put on dancehall and wind up my waistline. It's kind of like trying to uplift my beat, and I'll kind of put on my tunes and I'll listen, and I may not be dancing just yet, but I'll be like lifting my vibration a little bit. Or I'll go the completely other way and I'll really go for like my secret's coming out there. I'll go for like proper like 70s, 80s like ballads so I can like sing my heart out. I can't sing, by the way. Well, I can sing, but I can't sing well. Um, but I'll kind of like sing it out. So yeah, I think probably probably some Whitney or something like that. And that'll be me being pissed off at anything. I just need something, or yeah, that would be it. When I'm pissed off, that would be it. That's what I'd say. I love that. Um, do you ever get nervous before a live? All the time. Every single live that I do, I have a little mini panic. Just a small one. Just a little tiny one. Um, just what I think it's just human nerves, and I think I don't ever want that to go. I feel like it keeps me humble. It reminds me that I'm not, not everything goes perfect. Um, yeah, it keeps me grounded. So I think it's just this little moment of, oh my gosh, what if this goes wrong a little bit? But it's not in a doubtful way, like I think it's going to go wrong. It's in a way of like, I'm human and I understand there is a possibility that anything could go wrong. Like I'm not Superwoman. So yeah, definitely I still get nervous. The only thing I would say is I've got better at pushing that nervousness to the side and just being like boom. But yeah, definitely still get nervous. And I get super, super nervous if I'm joining somebody else's live. Like super nervous. I feel very out of place. It's quite interesting, really. Um, Somebody asked me when will my soulmate be coming. That to me is a question that I can't answer. I don't do fortune telling, and I don't know where mine is, so I can't answer for anybody else because that's rude. But no, I don't do fortune telling. I don't believe. I believe that things are written, but I believe that things are written as good as today, and anything could happen tomorrow that could change any aspect. So I don't do the future stuff personally myself. Shout out to everybody who does though. You badass. Favorite time of day and why? Okay, I'm going to give two answers. So to be outside at a time of day, I like probably I'll probably say like afternoon, or like, is it dusk? Dusk, yeah, dusk. When it's just starting to get dark, I think everything kind of goes a little bit quiet depending on where you are. I think the sky almost becomes calmer. I think there's just this sense of calm. Mid afternoon, I like when it's hot because obviously that's usually when the sun is beating. Um, so yeah, but not to be outside and be inside. I love nighttime. I do. I love darkness, and I love probably like between 11 and midnight because it's not pitch black yet, but the sky is almost like this really really dark blue colour. And again, depending on where you're located and stuff like that, but by me, everything goes calm again, everything goes silent, the stars are out. I like to look at the stars and I like to look at, oh, is that a planet? Is that this? Is that that? Is that a satellite? So yeah, that would be why. Um Watch oh no, I just read that one. Favourite song, favourite time. Best way to find your Dharma. Shreya's gonna shout at me for this one. Shout out Shreya for a lot from Aligned. Dharma is Dharma is truth. Is it to do with reality and present moment? Oh, me, I'm like, oh wait. I feel like it's to do with like purpose, order, flow. I'm gonna go with aspects of truth. I feel like that. This is terrible, but off the top of my head, I can only be honest. Shreya, don't shout at me if I've got it wrong. Best way to find your truth. Um, First things first, if you're at the very beginning of your journey, find out the truth of your past. So for me, there was a lot of unraveling of my childhood. I didn't have a bad childhood. My parents got divorced, etc., etc., but I didn't have a bad childhood. But there was a lot of things that my inner child had registered in a different way as the truth that isn't the truth. And although I was aware of it in my adult days, that part of me was still there. So I think that's the first thing. And the second thing for me would be, don't be afraid of your darkness. So don't be afraid of your bad bits. Don't be afraid to say, shit, that's really toxic of me, or that's a bit messy of me, or that's a bit, um, yeah, that's what I'd say. I'd say, to begin with, go into your past, your inner child, the things that have made you the person that you are today, and then go into the darkness that's been caused by those things, or are a result of those things, and really just look at yourself honestly, and remember, like, we can all have bad bits, but it's our choice to label them as bad, and we can decide, were they bad at this period of time, but now actually I'm healed, or I'm evolved, or um, I can use them in better ways. They're not actually anything bad anymore. It's kind of, whatever side you're looking at the box from is whatever side you see. Um, okay, cool. So last page. So this is the last 6 questions, I think. I don't think I've missed any. I hope I haven't missed any. Do you think you will always be on this path? Yes. If you would have asked me that 6 years ago, I would have said no. I would have said I don't know. I would have said I'm not sure. Now, yes. 100% yes. It may change. It may evolve. There may be periods of time where it's all a little bit different. But I can't imagine, and I don't believe that there will be a time where a bridge to tranquility is not here. For me, it's my baby, and it's a outpouring of my life and my journey as well. Because everything I offer in terms of services and programs and stuff are things that I've been through, things that I needed help with. So it's almost like it's not only a bridge for you guys, it's a bridge for me too. And I genuinely couldn't imagine. I know I can't predict the future and things may change, but to be quite honest with you, I definitely think now from this point, that I will always be on this path, regardless of what this path looks like. I will definitely always be on it. Do you have toxic traits? So going back to the question that I just asked a little while ago, do I class them as toxic? No, because they can be toxic. And did I have a lot of toxic traits? Yes. Do some of my traits have the ability to be toxic now? Yes. Am I working and worked on a lot of them? Yes. So things for me would be that I had attachment really bad. I had a lot of insecurity. I was very, 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 very defensive. Very defensive, almost to the point that I was just always on attack because I was so defensive. What else? I think those are my main things. I'm trying to think of if I'm missing anything. Toxic trait for me is definitely doubt. Doubt, I suppose, with laced in fears. But again, I feel like if I can spin that and I can change it a little bit, or I can turn that fear into a healthy panic or a healthy fear, it can balance. So yeah, but I think everybody's got toxic traits, and I think there's things that happen in whatever period of time that make them trigger, and there's things in periods of time that make them stop or make them simmer down, as I would like to say. Yeah, I love that question. What is one thing you would change about your journey if you could? One thing I would change about my journey. I'm going to be really honest and say the really cheesy cliche thing here. Well, actually, I'll give two answers. I'll be the cheesy cliche person and say I wouldn't like to change anything because every part of the journey has been a fundamental learning experience. But if I had to change something and not to just give the cheesy answer, um, hmm. I think, like everybody, there was a period of time where I think I felt like very um, uncertain. Um, there was a lot of stuff that I was doing and I was experiencing that wasn't really being shared um, by a wider community, if you want to call it that. So I think for a very long period of time, I felt very isolated. But with that isolation, I felt very uncertain of myself and my abilities. So I think if I could go back in that period of time and almost give my head a wobble, give myself a little shake and be like, girl, you know what you're doing, that would definitely be it. How do you cleanse off dense energy after taking it on from somebody else? So the first thing is you should be protecting your energy anyway. So I am constantly, as you can probably imagine, especially with sessions, I'm constantly protecting my energy, almost ripping away the old energy, protecting my new energy again. A lot of meditation, a lot of alignment, connection with my guides. Some things I keep old school as well, so I don't do it at my house, but at the office here, because of the variety of energy that comes in, I use things like white sage in here, just for a quick clearance, just for a reset, and then set intention and stuff into the space again. Um, but yeah, I use things like my visualization, my prayers, little short mantras and things like that. Obviously, I use protection, potions, rituals. And yet, to be quite honest with you, in my mind, the answer to that is good spiritual hygiene in the first place. Looking after your energy in the first place will mean that you shouldn't have to look after it in the worst case, because you shouldn't get there. So yeah, constant good spiritual hygiene, cutting cords on a regular basis. Disconnection is a big one as well. Disconnection, because I think it's very easy to hang on to a lot and not cut yourself off. So again, I walk over my bridge, I shut off to my best of my ability when I need to protect myself, and protect myself from that energy. Love that question as well. I got an "Are you single?" question, which I answered earlier when somebody asked about their soulmate. Yes, I am. What a funny question. I love people. This is why I wanted to open this up there, because I wanted to see. I wanted all sorts of varieties of questions. I wanted like spiritual questions, but I wanted people to just ask me random stuff that you want to know. Like, I'm just going to be here and I'm just going to be honest and I'm going to answer everything. Last question. What made you start this journey? My joke to this is a series of unfortunate events. To put it in really, really short terms, being in a situation where I was one of the only people that could help because of my gifts. The other side of that, in the exact same instance, was being in a situation that was very dark and scary and nobody's fault, but seeing an amount of people that couldn't do anything about it, in terms of the business journey. So that pushed me into a space of, number one, I want to be able to help people, and I'll be very, very honest here, guys. Number two, I don't want anything to be able to fuck with me. That's me being so honest. I wanted to build and be able to help, and I wanted to ensure that I would never be in fear of a situation like that. And I don't mean that as in I'm not scared, I'm Superwoman. I mean as in, okay, I've been here before and I'm confident in my connection. I'm confident in my guides, my spirit, the universe that leads me, that I can do whatever is required to get through this situation or get rid of this thing or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it would be a combination, my journey starting the way that it did, in depthly in preparation for the business, in that journey sense, would be being in a situation where I could help, and also seeing what it's like to be that person that needs help. The other side of it is the tagline of A Bridge to Tranquility, which is, you don't have to be weird to be spiritual. I didn't want people to think that they had to be a certain way or they had to do a certain thing to be spiritual. So the business journey very much started on the basis of, I want people like me to feel okay, and I want them to feel that, you know, it may not be so called normal, but it's natural for us. Yeah, that's it. So guys, I love that. I absolutely love that. I really, really enjoyed my first ever Ask a Witch series, episode, whatever you want to call it. You know, yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've super enjoyed it. I'm gonna be putting it out again over the next few weeks. It will be on my Instagram page, potentially on the Facebook page as well. So if you're watching and there's anything you'd like to ask, please do get involved. Also as well, use the comment section below on YouTube here. So if there's any questions that you'd like to throw into the mix for the next one, please do. I am no YouTube expert. I am learning, I am adapting, I'm trying, I'm giving it a go. I'm a busy bee as per usual, but I'm trying to build on this and decide what this platform is for. And first and foremost, I think it's about getting to know a little bit more about the face behind A Bridge to Tranquility. So I love and appreciate you all so much. Let me know how you found the video. Let me know if you've got any questions. And remember, you don't have to be weird to be spiritual, but you know, on occasion, it definitely helps. Have a great day. Loads of love, guys.